the ability to draw or paint something realistically, it impresses people right away. It's easier for a layperson to appreciate because the bar is set so much higher that anyone can identify if you've done something poorly. And when your art isn't really telling a story, it's easier for a layperson to understand why they think it's good and what you're trying to achieve. But if it doesn't tell a story, I do find myself becoming quite bored of it really fast, because my knee-jerk reaction is why. And that isn't to say that it isn't cool or it isn't art. It's just to say that I don't know what to say about my own painting that you're watching me make. But why is it so hard to figure out why I painted this? Realistically, I just needed a painting to put up in the vet's office to offer for sale, because the paintings that show up there have to fit a animal theme. And I know that when people are asked to make artist statements for their pieces of work that they're submitting to wherever, it does come with a struggle sometimes, because everybody wants to hear a story. They want to know what they're really seeing and where your efforts are going. And it makes me think of this painting class I took, and critiques were always just so quiet when it came around to my work, mostly because I wasn't terribly sociable, so nobody really knew who I was. And my approach to a painting class was to take photographs that I liked and recreate them with oil paint. And it doesn't really tell a story, it doesn't say anything, it's just me practicing my skills. And I guess our instructor was getting kind of sick of it. So she paused on my painting, which at the time was this weird painting of a spiral staircase and two ladybugs sitting on there. And she asked me, okay, well, what is the meaning behind this painting? I didn't have anything to say about it, so I just shrugged and said, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to. And she said, well, okay, but why the stairs? Why the ladybugs? Why the red color scheme? Like, what made you paint this specific thing? And I said, I don't know, I like ladybugs. And I got very anxious and nervous being put on the spot in front of my classmates, being forced to tell a story that I didn't even think about, I didn't think I had. And she just wouldn't really let it go. I drew a tiny thumbnail of this painting on a piece of notepaper while I was watching my husband play video games. And this was before I really knew about Let's Plays on YouTube. And so I really enjoyed watching my husband play Thief. It involves sneaking around and stealing things, including walking up and down stairs. And, around the same time, I was briefly very interested in ladybugs. And so I suggested, well, I guess the two ladybugs on the stairwell is me and my husband bonding together over shared distractions and building memories together. And my instructor smiled warmly and said, that's what I wanted to hear from you. And then we moved on. I was so relieved, and I was feeling validated by her unexpected appreciation of my story that I just came up with on the spot. And I realized that she was trying to make a life-altering point that I didn't quite catch at the time, which is that everything that we do or say is very much based on very specific circumstances, most of which all just happen by chance and accumulate together to make interesting coincidences, and that everything really does come with a story. It may not be an interesting story or an important story, but it's something that we aren't really aware of. We don't acknowledge it or plan around it. And so, of course, I had gone back to recreating photos and boring my classmates with them, having learned nothing from the conversation we had. And this is what I'm thinking about when I think about the fact that I have no idea what to say about this gecko painting, other than it is in some way a representation of where I am in life right now. Me needing something to post in an exotic pet hospital so that I can get my work out there, but also help fundraise for animals that have been forgotten and abandoned. And seeing that as an exotic pet hospital, that leads me to want to cover all my bases, try something I haven't tried before, which is this leopard gecko. And he's sitting in a quince tree which I didn't even know existed until I saw someone posting pictures of their tree on social media, on Twitter specifically, where I follow a lot of artists who bring me joy and inspiration every single day. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't try to do the Kickstarter project, which introduced me to the wide world of art Twitter. This painting, while not really having anything profound to say, it does tell you where I've been and where I'm going. And what I like most about doing pet commissions and all that is to be able to take someone's animal friend and put them somewhere more beautiful than real life can offer them. Not just drawing them on a blank white background, but rather giving them their own version of heaven. And this painting will be available in the shop, and 50% of the purchase price will be donated to the BC SPCA during the month of April.